there. Welcome to Within Living's YouTube channel. My name is Lois, and I'm so happy that you're here. And I sincerely thank you for coming here. I appreciate you coming here, and I appreciate you watching. So thank you for being here. So here at Within Living, whether it's here on YouTube or on my website at withinliving.com, or my one-on-one coaching, my spirituality community, or any of my self-paced courses, or maybe even any of my content that you might find around the internet. All my conversations are going to be focused towards spirituality, right? But when I say spirituality, I want to take it a little bit further. And I want to focus specifically on, or I do focus specifically on, consciousness. And when I say consciousness, what am I talking about? I'm talking about going back within yourself, because that's the seat of consciousness. It's within yourself. It's not external of you. And going back within and connecting to the consciousness of your being. So what is the consciousness of your being? It's the consciousness of your existence. It's who we call God, right? In the science, they call it the subconscious mind. In the spirituality world, they call it the soul. In religion, they call it God. Some people even call it the universe. And it doesn't really matter what we call it, because it doesn't change who it is. It is God. And so all my content here then is going to provoke you to really begin to think below the surface. Really evaluate your thoughts. Evaluate maybe beliefs you've had. Are they still serving you? And are they serving you well? And really reassess who you may have been perceiving yourself to be. And in your spiritual awakening, because my platform is here to support those on their spiritual awakening journey, then in your spiritual awakening journey, to support you and provoke you to look below the surface, dig deeper, get the answers, and step into a higher state of consciousness that you can, honest to God, experience living your very best life possible. God experiencing humanity. So that's what our conversations are about here, and I'm so happy that you're here. And if you may be wondering, well, why is it that Lois thinks that she's qualified to bring such a message to us, or if you want to learn more about me, I invite you to go look on my bio. It's on my website at withinliving.com. And while you're on Within Living, I am just releasing now, I'm announcing officially today that I'm releasing a new level of membership, a lower price point level of membership into our community. You're going to have exactly the same content. And my content is packed. It is potent. Don't take my word for it. Go on my website at withinliving.com, scroll on through, or look at the top for the community page. Click on the community page and look at the testimonials of the people in my community of what they're experiencing. We have, amazing conversations. We have these lives, and they're just out of this world. But my content is jam-packed. You guys get prime content here on YouTube. But this is the tip of the iceberg compared to what we get in the community. So come join us in the community and expand your awakening. Join us in the community, grow with us in the community, and go through your transformation to higher and higher states of consciousness, because that is what the spiritual awakening journey is about. It's not just about awakening and being here, sitting here as a bump on a log. No, you're awakened to recognize that indeed you are God within. But it doesn't just stop there. You have to transform. You know, like a caterpillar goes through a metamorphosis to become a butterfly. Well, that's the metamorphosis we go through within us to fully embrace and step into the state that we call the God state and live from the God state, occupied as God. And let me tell you, my friend, from the God state, honest to God, all things are possible for you. From the God state is where we manifest instantaneously. And if not instantaneously, like within an hour or so, we're talking about days. We don't deal with months. No, definitely not years or even weeks. So come on over and join us. Be happy to have you. So today, I am so excited to bring you another juicy conversation. And today I want to talk to you about your story. I want to talk to you about your story. So let me ask you this. What is the story that your ego has made up that it has been telling about itself? Put it in the comments box. I'd like to hear what some of your stories are. I can't share a story with you because I've learned to stop telling the stories, okay? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. So whatever stories, and by the way, if you don't feel you can put your story or talk about your story in the comments box below, then that's fine. I want you to address it to yourself personally because it's going to help you understand some things about yourself, understand some things about where you may need to make some changes, right? To accelerate your advancement in your spirituality walk, to accelerate consciousness, to come to a higher state of consciousness. We can't stay down here with the same stories and get up to here. No, we just can't. It doesn't work like that. The ego tries to hold us there, but it's actually holding us back. So I want to tell you today to stop telling your old story because it's not who you are. It's just not who you are. As you awaken and you begin to recognize and realize that you are indeed this spiritual being, this amazing, incredible, infinite being, right? This eternal being. You are God within, at your essence, your soul, if you will, your spirit, your source of life, that is God in the human vessel. And oh God, I love the body, but we're not it. We are just not it. And the mind, I love thoughts. You guys that know me, have been with me for a long time, you know I absolutely love thoughts. But we're not the thoughts either. We have them, but we're not them. We're actually God. Okay, so when we have this this understanding, this revelation, then it's really taking us to a higher state of our consciousness, where we're to step into that state of consciousness. Prior to this, we had a story, whatever our life experiences have been and are right here, right now. Your life experiences are actually the physical played out version of the play. It is your play. And this is the drama you're playing out of the cast or script you've written about your life, which is quote unquote your story. So that is what your life experiences are. If your life experiences are the same today as they were 6 months ago, or as they were a year ago, and oh God forbid that they were 2 or 3 years ago, right? If you're going through the same experiences, if your life is looking in the physical world exactly the same way today that it did 6 months, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, then I'm here to let you know, friend, it is a perfect reflection to you of the story that you are telling yourself that is your truth. And that story comes from the quote unquote convictions that you have deep within your subconscious mind about who you believe you are, what you believe you can have, what you believe you're worthy of, what happened back then, what you think is going to happen now or at some other time to come, right? And the reason why if you're still in that place, the reason why a person would still be stuck in that place is because up here in the mind, consciously, as well as the lower thoughts in the subconscious mind, we continue to repeat the same thoughts. People, at the end of the day, I keep telling you guys, it's your thoughts. It's just your thoughts. It's all your thoughts. It's all your thoughts. It's all your thoughts, and your thoughts are energy. So that means if your thoughts are remaining the same, that means your energy is remaining the same. Energetically, you're not changing. You may be working at it, but it's not a transformation. You haven't accelerated from one vibrational level to another. If you're still telling the same thoughts, having the same thoughts here, telling the same story here, then you can't be here. Stories in human form, we like to identify. And I love this about people when they coach. They'll come and they'll say, well, don't you want to know my story? And I just tell them, point out, no. I don't care about your story because we're not dealing with your story. If you're here to get coaching, the last thing we need to do is talk about your story because your story is history. Your story is the past. If you're here to get coaching or you're here to get transformation and you want to become a new person, then that's what transformation is. It's you want to become or experience being a better, a higher state of awareness of yourself, the best version of yourself. Then you can't do it looking at what the story is. So we have to just cut the story short, bury them, stop telling them. And if you're a storyteller and you really are fixated on telling stories and you like to tell stories, okay, then may I suggest to you then that you change the old story and you begin to formulate a brand new story of who it is you want to experience being. So write you a whole new story about who you want to be and begin telling that story to yourself and to everyone else. Yes, and some people will say, you're a little bit touched because your life don't reflect that at the moment. Don't worry about that. Give that no thought. Shouldn't make any difference to you. Besides, you don't even need to tell them because you don't need validation from the external world. Remember that? You don't need to be validated. No, from the external world. Why? Because you're God within. And because you're God within, every single thing is within you. Your validation is within you. Your validation really is at the very source of your existence. Your validation is at the essence of your being. It is you. You don't need to look outside of you for validation. You don't need approval from anybody. No, you should never, ever be looking outside of yourself to anyone else for validation. Because if you're looking outside of yourself just for someone else to get validation from someone else, no matter whether that's your spouse, your children, your parents, or whoever, or your bestie, then you're actually saying to yourself, to the God of you, your true self, you're not enough for me. You're just not enough for me. So begin to practice looking inwardly and turning inwardly for your own validation and never to look externally of yourself because that's not the real thing there. Okay? That's just an illusion. That's not a real thing. So back to your story. If you will learn to discipline your thoughts, if you will learn to discipline your emotions, and as you're disciplining your thoughts, you're actually disciplining the personality, who we call the ego or the ego self, right? Which is your personality. Then as you begin to harness, take hold of the old thought pattern, the old story that you were telling, and just shut it down and just say, no, I was that, but I'm no longer that. This is who I am. And paint a picture in your mind. Write it out on paper. If let's say you're someone who was always fearful and timid, and so that way your story was built around all the drama and the trauma that comes from being fearful and timid, then you start writing a new story and you start telling yourself, I'm absolutely fearless. Me and God are one. I'm plugged into God and God is plugged into me. I have nothing to fear. I'm always taken care of. I'm always coming out on top of everything. Everything's always working out really great for me. I have wonderful experiences. I am so fearless. I'm adventurous. I love having adventures, right? You just change the story. That's all. And if you can change the story and maintain the new story long enough without reverting back, allowing the ego, because it's the ego that's going to take you back to the old story. Because the ego, remember, the reticular activating system, it's called, the RAS in the brain, that's what it's called. It does not like change. That's why they call humans creatures of habits. It doesn't want to change. So it's always reverting back to the old story. The way you discipline is you tell it, no. No. I am fearless. In fact, I'm so fearless. I love adventures. You know what? I'm planning me a very adventurous trip. You know what? I'm taking a risk. I'm going on that airplane. I'm no longer afraid of flying. You know what? I'm going on that cruise. Couldn't care less about the ocean. I am the ocean. No longer afraid of it. You know what? I'm climbing that tree all the way to the top. You know what? I'm acing that exam. I'm coming out on top. Change the story. Change the story, my friend, and you're going to change your life. Change the story and you're going to change your life. You know, I'm reminded as I'm talking here about, and where is it again, God? Where's that again? I think it was in the book of Genesis somewhere. I'm not sure off the top of my head. But there's a scripture that talks about, oh, it's in the book of Joshua. Okay, thanks. I think it's in the book of Joshua. About how when Sodom and Gomorrah, right? The story about Sodom and Gomorrah, and God had sent somebody in there to get these people out before the city fell or whatever. And Lot's wife, it was Abraham. It was in the book of Genesis, right? It was Abraham. And when they went to get these people out, and they're coming out, and Lot's wife, she kept looking back. She kept attaching, looking at the memories. We're going somewhere. We don't even know where we're going. We don't know what's going on. We're running for our lives. But life was really good back here. Yeah, we were hoping we didn't have all those fallen angels. But, you know, we had a beautiful house. We had all the money. It was really good. Things were really good back here. She kept looking back on the past. And in the Bible, it says that God told her, do not look back. Do not look back. Do not look back. Stop looking back. Don't look back. It was a warning. Do not look back. But she continued to look back. And as she continued to look back, she froze. She just became a pillar of salt. She transcended from the human experience to the salt experience, okay? The thing with looking back is this, and this is something you need. I set an intention here and now in this video that you're going to get absolute crystal clear clarity on if you've not had it out of any of my other videos before. The thing about looking back is this. Who you call God or the universe or source or spirit or Allah or Jesus the Christ or whatever you call it, right? The source of your existence, your subconscious mind, your soul, the infinite, the spirit, the existence of you. It is an infinite fluid form energetically. It is not the physical. It is having the physical experience through you. Yes. I mean, how incredibly amazing is that? I give sincere thanks for that. That as humanity, we get to experience God. I mean, that's so boggling. But God becoming man, taking on the form of mankind and giving mankind the personalities to experience God being man. Because this is what this human experience is about. So, as you resonate with that, then begin to recognize what I want you to have a clear realization of is that God, who is infinite spirit, infinite energy, formless substance, formless source, God doesn't know time and space. No, my friend. God has no clue about time and space. Because God is not in time and space. Infinite, eternal, means it has no past and it has no future. So God does not know when you're making your story about what is to come over there somewhere, or even when you're praying for, I'm going to be getting, but you never get. You never get because God can't deliver to you what does not exist in God's world. God is not in the future. God is here and now. God is always ever present here and now. Time is not a truth in God's world, in the spirit, if you will, in the essence of you. The soul of you does not know time and space. It does not. It really does not. It exceeds time and space because it is infinite. Time and space are limited. You got 24 hours a day. We got so much space between here, there, and everywhere. But underneath it, and I like to always provoke you all to look underneath the surface, underneath it, energetically, is the infinite. The infinite can't be restricted in the box. If not, it couldn't be the infinite. Think about that for a moment. If you got 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and you needed something that went beyond that, then God couldn't do it because God is boxed into this time. So begin to have the consciousness, the awareness that time and space is not a real thing. They're the human experience. Humanity formed them. Humanity called them into being, if you will, for humanity's purpose. But the real essence of you does not know time, and it does not know space, and it can't be restricted, and it can't be limited. And if you'll begin to be able to just grasp that concept about yourself, that there's no past, so there's really no story. That's what I'm getting to. I am ever present now. There's just now. God is always ever present now. Ever present now. The ego, the human part, because remember I said time and space are conjectures for humanity, to serve humanity's purpose. So the human part of you, the ego, the personality that attaches to the human part of you, it is always looking at the memory. Your personality, my friend, has been formed individually based on every experience you've ever had, whether you've been conscious of them or not conscious of them. That's what's formed your unique personality. That's what makes you so uniquely, distinctly different from any other body in the whole wide world. But the ego looks at your history. And as a society, they've trained humanity really well to always be fixated on the past. If you're always on the past, you can't move forward. There's no real future, but you can't move forward. You can't come out of the past. Remember, energy. And the law, the metaphysical law says, where your focus goes, your energy must follow. So if you're always looking on your story on the past, my friend, that's why you keep repeating it. It's the only reason why you keep repeating it. Because you keep looking at it. If you put your focus on the past, on what happened then, you are reproducing it to happen again. So just remember, the past is not a real thing. Time is not a real thing. There is no past to hold on to. Let go of the past. Remember, they're just memories, the way the egoic mind has recorded them. Memories of experiences, and that's all they were, to the soul, to the real you, experiences, and not the true nature and identification of the source, the God, the soul of you. No, because God is not identifying with any of what happened in the past. They were just an experience. They were just an experience. For your soul, it was just an experience. It is still I am. It is not I am what happened back there. It doesn't identify with what happened back there. It doesn't identify with the memory or the experience. It just observed it. It was an experience, and it detaches from it. So if you learn to detach from the stories of the past, you'll be able to set yourself free from your limitations and the life of the past that you keep repeating over and over and over. And the only way to do it is detach from it. Detach. Stop thinking it. Stop thinking it. Stop revisiting it. Stop rehashing it. Psychiatry and psychoanalysis and sociology, they do that. They keep digging and digging and digging and digging. And the more they dig, the more you're going to find back there. Leave it alone. That's not what you do when you've been spiritually awakened. When you've been spiritually awakened, you recognize, oh, that's an experience I had when I didn't know who I was. But now I wake up, praise be to God. I woke up and found out who I am. I'm stepping out of that past and I'm stepping into a new state of consciousness. I'm stepping into the new realization of who I am here and now. I got me a new story. I am a spiritual being. I'm a divine, eternal being. That means I can't never need nothing. Never in need. I'm always super abundantly supplied. I'm always loved and cared for. I'm always supported and provided for. Everything always works out for me. I'm one with God. How can anything go wrong for me? And leave the past alone. All right? Okay. So again, my intention was that you really honestly get clarity out of this video here, the content here today, to help you to see and understand why you must indeed detach from all your stories of the past. Stop, really stop telling your old story. If you want to move forward your life, stop telling your old story, bury it. Make you a new story and step into a higher state of consciousness and live your best life. All right? So until next time, this is Lois signing out from, oh, wait. Before I go, I'm telling you one more time, go on over there to my website at withinliving.com, right? And go and check out the community and come and join our community. We got 2 levels now. 2 levels of membership to serve you, right? And all the details will be on my website. And so until next time, I'm sending you unconditional love. And I'm sending you the peace of the soul. The peace that passes all understanding. That peace that will keep your heart, guard your heart and your mind from looking back there in the past and rewriting the old stories. And remember, we're one love. It's just the one love. We're one love, one consciousness, one mind, one God. We are all it. We are it. And it's the one love. And that love will overcome anything when you learn to step into it and embrace it and just allow it to support you. So until next time, bye-bye for now.